two young women set out for an adventure of a lifetime, vibrant, curious, and full of promise. But somewhere in the Panamanian jungle, their trail vanished. What followed wasn't just a mystery, it became a chilling enigma that still haunts investigators and internet sleuths alike. Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon were best friends from the Netherlands. In March 2014, they arrived in Boquete, a mountain town in Panama, to volunteer at a local school and experience Central America's breathtaking beauty. They were well prepared, healthy, educated, and eager. On April 1st, 2014, they set off on a hike through the forested highlands of El Pianista Trail and were never seen alive again. The hike was only meant to last a few hours, but when the girls didn't return, host families assumed they had extended their trip. It wasn't until April 3rd that alarm bells rang and search efforts began, but by then, they had vanished into the jungle. 10 days later, a local woman turned in a backpack found near the Rio Culebra. It was dry and contained their belongings, passports, a water bottle, sunglasses, 2 phones, and a digital camera. What investigators discovered on those phones deepened the mystery. The girls had tried to call emergency services, 112 and 911, 77 times over 10 days. No calls connected, except one for a brief second. One phone stopped being used after the 5th day. The other was turned on and off for days, until April 11th. Then, silence. The camera held over 100 photos taken on April 8th, long after the girls were believed to be alive. Most were taken at night. Flash images of jungle trees, rocks, what appeared to be plastic bags or candy wrappers. One photo seemed to show the back of Kris's head, blood or decomposition, visible. Experts couldn't explain why they were taken. Was it a cry for help, an attempt to signal rescuers, or evidence of something more sinister? Eventually, human remains were discovered miles from the trail, fragments of bones, a boot with a foot inside, and pieces of a pelvic bone. Forensic testing confirmed they belonged to Kris and Lisanne, but the condition of the remains raised even more questions. Kris's bones appeared unnaturally bleached. Forensics noted a lack of soft tissue decomposition signs, sparking speculation. Were they exposed to chemicals? Was someone else involved? Lisanne's bones, in contrast, showed more traditional decomposition, and only a few remains were ever found. The mystery of Kris and Lisanne sparked a whirlwind of theories. Accident? Some believe the girls got lost, one was injured, and the other tried to help until both succumbed to the jungle. Foul play? Others suspect locals or a hidden assailant. The neatness of the backpack's condition, the staged-looking photos, and the irregular phone activity suggest more than an accident. Cultural tension? Panamanian authorities were criticized for poor handling of evidence and conflicting statements. Was someone else with them? Some theorize the nighttime photos were taken by another person or under duress. No theory fully explains all the facts, and the jungle has kept its secrets. While no spoken last words were recorded, their final communications were silent cries for help, emergency call logs, unsuccessful GPS attempts, and haunting images that may have been their only lifeline. Kris and Lisanne left behind more than questions. They left behind families shattered by silence and a mystery that continues to echo through the mountains of Boquete. Was it just misadventure in a deadly landscape? Or something darker, lurking in the jungle? If this story haunted you like it haunted us, don't forget to like and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, what do you think really happened to Kris and Lisanne?